You know, I try really hard to make my children understand this, and a lot of other people, especially business owners, when I get hired to do a job. I really, really try very hard to make people understand this. Some people get it, some people just get it. A lot of people don't. Um, there's this saying that goes around saying that uh, nothing's free. And then there's people that say, well, I'm freely giving you my advice. This is for free. I'm just giving it to you. I don't want anything back. Pay it forward, whatever. Nothing in life is truly free. Me doing these videos like this is not free. You may not be paying me for it, but it's not free. I'm paying for this in time. I could be off doing many other things. I could be working a normal 9-to-5 job like a lot of people do. I could be out here killing myself in this freaking heat. I could be watching videos. I could be doing any number of things. The whole point is it's not free. It's costing me time. And there are a lot of things out there that successful people, driven people, call time wasters. They were given very badly reputation-wise when I was growing up. It was one of the biggest things that the church pushed on everybody, that my father and my mother, my grandmother, a lot of people kept saying was they like to quote this. And even now, a lot of people like to quote that. I forget the scripture off the top of my head. It's been a very long day, but it's when you hit a certain age to become an adult, you put away childish things. That scripture is so misquoted on so many levels, it's not even funny. Very few people truly get what it is. But besides the point of that, there is the fact that if I am coming to you as my spouse, my child, my best friend, my brother, my sister, something, if you come to me and ask me for help, or if I'm just going what may not seem like out of my way, but to me I'm going out of my way, because trust me, I'd rather sit in my house all day in nice air conditioning and watch TV with a beer and a nice steak or a nice plate of food and just sit here and be a vegetable all day. I would really love to do that, but I can't do that. So if I'm going out of my way, coming to you, and we're going to go hang out, even if it's something that I don't really care for, if I'm willingly spending my time with you, I'm showing you, I'm telling you, you're valuable to me. You're a valuable person. I value you enough that when I could be sitting at home or I could be working a job or something, when my free time, when I should be relaxing, recharging my batteries and everything else, I value you enough that I am out here spending that time with you. If I'm giving you advice, I am willingly paying you with my time to give you that advice to help you. And if you ask me for advice on something and I actually give it to you instead of blowing you off, I value that to the point to where I'm willingly paying my time to help you. Nothing is ever free. Time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. You can't. And I wish more people would understand that. So all those years when my father and my grandfather and everybody else was saying, put away those things, quit wasting time, this is what they meant. It takes a certain level of maturity for somebody to understand that. Once you hit that age to where everything starts to literally like, oh my God, it was a blink of an eye almost is what it felt like. And where did the time go? This is what they've been talking about. Youth is wasted on the youth. All that time and energy is wasted on the youth in a lot of levels because we're young, we're dumb, We think we're immortal, we can live forever. We go out and we just waste time. We'd rather go party instead of putting that time into and that energy into building a life of money and relaxation, so that when we get older we have that money coming in, that we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to struggle so much. We're not getting the education we need. I can't tell you how many people I've dealt with over the years that are in their 60s, 70s, are like, oh my God, I wish I was still 20, and with my mind I would go back and redo everything and go back to school and manage my time better and quit wasting so much doing all this other stuff. All these petty dramas, all of this stuff that was going on, it's time wasters. And people don't seem to get it. And that's what I've been trying to show here. There are times when I have to physically just walk away and turn on Netflix or Hulu or pop in a DVD or an old VHS or something, or get on my phone and watch a YouTube video or something, to where I have to go for, like, sometimes there's something nagging at me so badly that I just have to tune everything out, and it looks like I'm just being lazy, and I can't, my brain is locked on like a dog with a bone, to the point to where even as much and as well as I do multitasking, as good as I am at multitasking and getting things accomplished, there are times where I just physically have to shut everything down for 1-2 days. Sometimes it's only an hour or two, but there have been times, like here recently, I had to take a full 2 days off and just mind-numbing binge a show or something, and then now it's clicked because it took that long to shut everything down, because even sleep wasn't happening. I wasn't sleeping well. And so I do not disrespect people for any of that stuff, but I do question, if you've been saying for 6 months you're going to do this and then you never do it because you've always got something else going on, that I question. But in my case, and I know many people like me, where sometimes we just have to walk away for a day or two. Sometimes that's what that 3-day, 5-day vacation is for us to just pack up and get totally away from everything, to have our brain just snap and say, oh, that's the answer I was looking for. Now I can move forward. And now, from the outside looking in, it looks like we were doing nothing for 3, 4, 5 days. It looks like we were taking 4 or 5 steps backwards, and then suddenly everything snaps into position, everything hits that reality, and suddenly we've jumped forward like 5 levels. And it's almost like Superman, over leaps a tall building in a single bound, because we were stuck. We're like, why isn't this working? What is going on? And we focused on it so hard that it locked us up, and then suddenly, boom, it just snaps. And now we're leaping over that building. We're leaping over 20 stories of a building because it catapulted us. Now we're back in the thick of it. Now we're back where we were, and you see a level of productivity that is just, from the outside looking in, seems kind of mind-boggling. The issue comes into with the improper communication and everything else going on, where people come at you sideways with, you're wasting time, you're doing this, you're doing that, instead of asking, hey, are you okay? How are you doing? What's going on? Is there something I can help you with? And giving us a chance to explain it, compared to, and then support us. Instead, it's negative. Quit wasting time. Get your ass back to work. Go do this. Go do that. You're worthless. Blah blah blah. That's the difference. I have been very fortunate and very blessed with a wife who has, after 23 years of marriage, the last 15 years has fully understood how I work and how I do things. And we talk, and she's been very understanding. Yes, we have our issues. Every relationship has its issues, but we do this, and it's it's a whole nother level, especially with her, because now she's learned with the proper support, because she never had a lot of support around her. She never had a lot of positivity around her, a lot of negativity, a lot of abuse, on many levels. And so with me being able to give her that proper support and the positivity and everything, she has jumped leaps and bounds like that. She hits a couple of times where she just has to take a day or two, and just sit back and veg, and just completely go off the rails, hiding in the woods like a hermit type scenario. She just doesn't want to be bothered because something's nagging her that badly. And then suddenly, after 2 or 3 days, she just clicks and it's off to the races trying to catch her. And I love that. I've seen that with a few of my friends and a few of my family members when I give them the proper support, when others give them the proper support. If you give each other the proper support and fight the negativity, even if they have a track record on many levels, it just takes that one person to believe in them, to back them up, give them that faith and that compassion, that belief in them, that helps them break that cycle and move forward. And I have someone right now that I'm trying to help with that I really believe in, but in reality I have a feeling that they're just not ready yet to make that commitment and break that cycle. And so I'm going to be in a bad spot with perception of being a bad friend, because I'm going to have to pull back, because I can't get drawn into that cycle of toxic and bad. I just can't. But if they prove me wrong, I'm that person in their corner that's going to back them up every time, keep them positive, keep them going. I've done it with several people. I have 2 friends that I supported them for well over 2 years, and they were able to finally break that cycle, to the point where they're living on their own now. They're taking care of themselves. They're living a happy, successful life, and they don't need me to be that big brother in their life constantly checking on them, because they've finally been able to break that bad string, because they had enough of the positive there to help them. And this, I think, is one of the biggest problems in society today, is so much negativity, so many people attacking each other, so many people putting each other down, just because your perception of reality is that every time you see that person, it seems like they're not doing anything, they're lazy, they're not moving anywhere. Well, if you're always attacking them and always being negative, why would they want to talk to you? Why would they want to share anything with you? If they share something positive and then you beat it down and just attack it and tear it apart, why would that person ever take the time or have the faith to share that with you? Because you've put them in a cycle of negativity, to where every time they turn around, they're just being torn down. It's one thing to say, based off of this and this series of events with things that have happened, this is not going to be successful for what you're trying to do. But if you tweak it this way and maybe do it this way, I think you'll really be successful, because the track record, everything supports doing it that way to make it happen, and then you back it up with all of that. That's a totally different story compared to, well, why are you just doing that? Everybody else does it. Every time you've done it, you failed. It's not your thing. Just give up already. Stop. Go back to doing this, and this. 2 totally different mindsets. One is a very positive. The first one is a very positive spin with, hey, I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm saying the track record and everything going on supports it's more than likely not going to work. But if you're open to it and we make some twists and some tweaks to it, You stand a much better chance of being successful this way. Hey, I'm supporting you. I'm willingly trying to help you twist and tweak things to make it successful for you, because that's what I want for you, is success and happiness, compared to just give up already. It never works for you. You always fail. That's very negative, and I see that a lot. And that goes back to my original comment on this whole thing of wasting time, paying everything with time. I let's back up a second. I'm paying you with my time. In both of those scenarios, I'm paying you with my time. I am willingly giving up my time because I believe in you and trying to help you, compared to I'm giving up my time to you because I'm going to get something out of you. If my goal is the drama, to keep you under my thumb, to control you, all of that, just give up. Go away. Go back to what you were doing. It's never going to work for you. That is me wasting my time, because for some reason I've got you under control. I'm controlling you on some level. Everybody knows someone like that in your life. And if you really think about it, some portion of your life is being controlled by that person because you're letting them control you. Whether it's you have nowhere to go because lack of proper employment, you can't save money, whatever. Excuse me, I got a wild hair here. There's some level of control of what's going on, and so they're willingly, and they probably don't even realize it because most people deny this even happens, but they're paying their time, giving up their time that they could be doing other things, to come after you, to control you, to negatively beat you down, to keep you in that rut. As opposed to me or someone like me in your life willingly giving up my time, saying, I believe in you, I support you, you're asking my actual thoughts on this, so I'm going to do everything I can to give you the best, because I believe in you. I want you to be successful. I want you to be happy. And if in some way, somehow, I can help be a part of that, to help make sure that you're successful and happy, that makes me happy. And so my time that I paid putting into helping you with that, to me, is well spent. That's kind of the basis behind the whole pay it forward. I came in, I helped you. I don't want you to come back and help me. I don't want you to pay me back. I want you to take that and your success, and I want you to pay it forward to someone else in the domino effect, to help them, because they may be in a situation similar to what you were just in, where I helped you. This way you're putting out positivity, you're putting out all the good things, the time well spent to properly help somebody develop, to properly help someone be successful, to help someone be healthy and happy. To me, that's the greatest gift in the world. And to me, if I'm spending my time giving up my very precious, irreplaceable, very, very valuable time to help someone like that, and you turn around and disrespect me by spitting in my face or bad mouthing me or whatever because it didn't go the way you thought or whatever, and instead of placing the blame on yourself because you did it wrong when all of mine were good intentions, that's disrespectful to me, and that hurts. Like I said, I'm dealing with a situation like that right now that could very easily turn into that, and I have it's happened before, and all the signs are there. This man I call my brother, and I helped him for 3 years, and all the signs and red flags were there that he was going to do that. He fell on his face many, many times, but he never badmouthed me. He gave me credit. He told me he loved me. He took everything I had to say to heart when he asked me for help, and he is now living his life like a proper human being instead of feeling like he's the scum of the earth. But all the signs were there that he was going to fail and place the blame on me and badmouth me. And the signs are there for this individual too. And my gut tells me from the actions that this individual's fixing to do the same thing. Because this individual's actions are different than what this man that I call my brother now has done. I have several people that the signs were there, and other people were like, they're just going to do you dirty, don't listen to them, why are you taking the chance, why are you wasting your time, we're just looking out for you, blah blah blah. And then these certain individuals that everybody badmouthed proved them wrong and proved me right with my belief in them, and they've gone on to have very happy lives now, and they're continuing to have happy lives, and I'm very proud of that fact, that to the point that I call these people my brothers and my sisters. And so you have to sit down and really assess everything and see about your time. You have to look at the situation and see, is it worth it to spend your time with that individual or individuals? Let me flip this one extra level. Instead of just dealing with just a stranger or a friend, what if it was your children? Your children are never going to agree with you on most levels. Your children are going to fight you, especially when they hit their teenage years, because, you know, we all know teenagers are immortal. They know everything. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody can tell them different. But if you truly love and believe in your children, you will dedicate that time, and that time is well spent into making sure that they have the best education options there, the best overall support, the best positive overall support to help them survive and thrive. Don't spoil them. Definitely don't spoil them. But investing that time and effort into the children, because they are the future. They're the next wave. And we're seeing exactly what I'm talking about with all of these individuals that are now just now hitting their 20s, that the negative was what was poured into them. This goes back to I'm half Native American, believe it or not. My skin doesn't say it, but I am. I'm half Native American. My grandmother was full-blooded Cheyenne. But the point I'm making here is there's a very ancient adage that's close to about, I think, 6,000-7,000 years old. Like, it dates back even to the Egyptian Empire, Roman Empire, all of that. That it comes in different forms, but the main form is this. And I know many of you have seen it. You have two wolves inside of you. You have two creatures inside of you. In Chinese, in Buddhism, it's yin and yang. You have yin and you have yang. The one that becomes the dominant and the most controlling factor is the one that you feed. So in the Native American culture, with this story, it is you have two wolves, and one is light, one is dark, one is good, one's evil. We all have good and evil inside of us, good and bad. If you feed the good all the time, stay positive, feed the good, and starve the bad, deprive the bad, never feed it, control those actions, keep it locked up, don't let those bad actions and everything happen, you become a very good person, a very kind-hearted person. You become a very passionate, caring, loving soul. But if you deprive the good and throw everything into the evil, the negativity, the bad, all of that, you're going to become a very evil, uncaring, stone-hearted, uncompassionate, twisted individual. And it shows in your actions, it shows in your words, it shows how you talk to people. There are studies you can Google on YouTube that are The people sit there with the baby, and they're the kindest, sweetest, most caring sounding voice, but the words are so evil and nasty in saying, I hate you, I didn't want you, you should have never been born, all of this stuff, but it's said in the kindest, sweetest, most compassionate way. The baby doesn't understand the words, the baby understands the tone of voice, and so the baby thrives off of that. And then they turn right around with the same one, and they're saying, hey, I love you, I care about you, you're the light of my life, all of this stuff, but in the evilest, nastiest sounding voice you can come up with, and that baby is repulsed by it. And all you're saying is, I love you. But when you say, I love you, I hate you, hey, I hate you. You see, the tone of voice goes a long ways, because a lot of times people aren't even listening. For whatever reason, they're wrapped up in their own thoughts, and it may take a moment to snap and click that you're talking to them, unless they're highly engrossed in the conversation. But a lot of times they're sitting here, and it's the tone of voice overrides what is being said. So this is where the body language comes into effect with that, because your body language, if you're repulsed by somebody for whatever reason, you're angry, you're repulsed, you want nothing to do with that person at the moment, your body language, no matter how controlled, says that. It gives off that wave, and the other person senses that. And this whole time you're giving off that whole sense of everything, but you're saying, I love you. That wave of energy, of negativity and being repulsed and everything, no matter how many times you say you love you, as long as that energy wave is coming off of you, that is what they're seeing. This is why they say actions speak louder than words. Same thing I try and educate my children on. You can say you're sorry a billion times, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, are you really sorry? Are you? Because you keep doing it over and over again. If you sit here and you're constantly repulsed, you're constantly at odds, you don't want to be with that person, and they can sense this, they can tell this, but you keep saying, I love you, I love you. I love you means nothing, because your body is telling them this. This is the same thing with how you speak. This is the same thing with your time. If I tell you I love you and I'll be there and I'll help you as my brother, as my spouse, whatever, and then I'm constantly blowing you off because I'd rather go drinking with my buddies or whatever, okay, yeah, maybe I do love you, but I don't love you enough to give you my time. As a counselor, I see this all the time too, with as a life coach, a counselor, an analyst, all of this stuff. I see this as a relationship person all the time. I have friends right now that would rather go fishing, hunting, go hide at the gym for 4 or 5 hours. They will make every excuse on every level to not spend any time whatsoever with their wife or their spouse. But they are so adamant, I love her, I love him, I would do anything for him. And then there's that unspoken, but spend actual time with them. I can't be bothered to go shopping with them. I can't be bothered to go to a movie. I can't be bothered to go have a normal dinner. I have to go hunting. I have to go fishing. I have to go bowling. I have to go laser tag. I have to go to the bar. All of this, your actions speak volumes upon volumes compared to your words. And that whole freedom, nothing is free. It all comes down to time. Who are you giving your time to? Who is deserving enough in your eyes to have that time? If you cannot stand being with that person, I don't care if you have kids or not. If you cannot stand being with that person, why are you married? Get the divorce, pay your money, move on, take care of your kids, and go from there. Don't badmouth each other. Why are you wasting your time? Time is the most valuable commodity you will ever have, and you constantly give it away wastefully. Think about all that. And then y'all can comment in the comments or on Facebook or whatever. I'd really like to hear comments, but this is, to me, this is what I try and teach people all the time. It starts with that. Who is deserving of your time? What are you going to do with your time? Love y'all. Peace. We'll talk to you later.